Hello, this is Ryan here, and let me tell you the basic usage of creating and using GitHub. The one of the methods that I primarily use. So first, you create a new repository, add some random name inside of it, like repo for now. And there is description, just leave it, but be sure you add the readme.com because this makes the process much more easier. The next you gotta do, press on the code and then open with Visual Studio. Of course you have Visual Studio Code installed somewhere in your, but this one takes a bit time, so I'm just going to clone it anyways. You copy the code, just go to some workspace of yours that you use and then git clone and the URL you just copied. Done. Then go to the repository name and here hit code. That one didn't work. Maybe there might be some bug with the GitHub that it. So there you go. Now you open index.html. Creating a new file is much more easier, and then this one is going to be a basic HTML repository which is having some basic HTML5 code, and then later we are going to add it to the GitHub pages so that you can share it with me rather than me having to do that stuff all the time. Let's make it hello world for now. You are smart enough to add the next, make it as a bigger project as well if it is static HTML. So now go to the source control and add the message, initial commit, and then I press Control plus Enter to commit. What is a commit? Commit means that your changes would now be traced. Now if I add hello world and then bye world, so this would trace that this is the two new lines have been added, and it would be like a new version of my same code than my original commit. Now add secondary commit inside of it. So now there have been two versions inside of me. To see all the versions, you can see it through the commits tab. It contains all of my versions. Now if I want to go back to the first one version, like I did some changes to the code and now the code is not working, now I want to go back to the first version in which I wrote initial commit. You can add a much more reasonable message. So you click on this one, switch to commit. Here is the option. Yeah, switch to commit. Now it will go back previously to what it was. See, the changes have been gone. It is not that the changes are not there. I can go back to my changes by clicking, yeah, click on this one and go back and tap here, and you'll get back all of your changes that you have done. Also, there have been extensions like GitLens or GitHub. You can go it through the extension store here. I have installed, and just press Git, and you can see a couple of extensions. And these are the ones I installed. Git history for these options, and then GitLens for that stuff I just did right now. With these options, you can just see what was your changes you did for the previous committed. Like I added the hello bye world, and before it, what was it? Before it, the index.html wasn't even existed. It was added in this commit hash. This is how you can use Git. Now my both of the changes are committed. They are locally. They are not on the GitHub. If I go into the site and I press reload, I won't find these changes live into the main repository. So what I do, I have to sync the changes and wait till the commits get pushed, and once they do, you can see the status messages would be changed. See, up to date with the origin on GitHub. Now if I reload it, I can see my code inside of it that has an index.html. Now when it comes to sharing the code, like you want to share the code with me and I want to watch what you did, so now I have to clone the repository each time and I have to run it. Like you can run it right here using the live server extension. You can see the changes that you have done, hello world and bye world. Like let's make it separated into the line. Yeah, this one looks nice. Let me add a third commit. Added line break. It's much better to add your descriptions as an updates of what you did to this commit, so that you may know that what changes you did to that commit by the description you're adding. Save that change, and now this one, now when it is up to date, if you see the code inside of it, it must have a line break added to this file. Now if you want to share me that what it was, just go to the settings and you can go to this pages tab, where we are going to have to GitHub Pages, choose the main branch and save. And after 2 to 3 minutes, I mean 2 to 3 minutes are the ones that take it to be published, you have to click this link. You can share the link with me and your site would be there. It is not here right now because I just published it. It would take 2 to 3 minutes for the changes to be live. Any changes you did to the repository will be live to the website in 2 to 3 minutes. So that's how we use it. Another method to use it is using vscode.dev. This is the online sandbox of VS Code, where you can open the repository. Click this link, open remote repository. Open repository from GitHub, allow. For this you have to do some auth stuff, and now you can open this repository. What was the name? It was repo. So I can open repo right here live without the need to use the Visual Studio. I can use the browser. The option is also there in VS Code, but I'm just showing you how you can do so. The browser itself, if it is just HTML, then the browser is much better option to use it. Now you can see that I have index.html and I'm adding another line. Goodbye until wait, stop next. Two lines have been added. The same stuff that we did, that is last commit. It's same as using Visual Studio, and the changes are now live. You see, you won't have to push it. I haven't have to push the changes. The changes are already live. If I reload, then I would see last commit. Yeah, that's the use of remote repositories. If I just do that using VS Code, like I open another window, I can do the same probably. I just have 1 minute left for the recording. Let me see, open. For that you need the extension called as remote repositories. Yeah. Once it is installed, you can GitHub repositories. You can install this one also. Okay, so now let's go here, open remote repository. You got the option, and here you can choose the repository from. We can sign in and do the same stuff that we did here. Okay. Now you can choose the repo, and here the same cycle begins. You can just do the direct changes to your repository without the need to sync them.